Good morning and welcome to All Abilities Homestead. If you're new here, my name is Deb, and my goal is to encourage and inspire you to live your dream life in spite of any physical limitations you may encounter. I've been in a wheelchair for over 25 years now, but I still lead a normal, happy, productive life, and I hope to show tips and ideas on how you can adapt to be able to do anything you want to do. These are my grandsons, and follow us as we share this journey. Okay, I'm so excited. I could not wait to make this video. You can tell by my voice that I am still very congested, and I'm for sure not camera ready to have this pointed at me, but I wanted to share this book with you guys. I'm so excited. I was on the pre-order list for this and could not wait for it to get here. And while I've been sick, it got here, so I've spent a lot of time just curled up in bed, flipping through the pages. My cooking schedule has completely gotten thrown off while I'm sick because nobody wants me hacking, coughing, and sneezing over their food. So I've had a lot of time to look at this book, and it is awesome. It is put out by King Arthur Flower, and I'll start by saying that I am not a bread baker yet. It is in my to-do list. It's in my bucket list, I guess is the word I'm looking for. I wanted to bake bread, and I'll be completely honest. I have baked bread a couple of times, but it was always with a family member or a friend who were kind of holding my hand all the way through the process, and I just have not had the courage to try and do it by myself until now. So my goal for this winter is to become proficient at baking bread. I ordered this book, and I'm just going to take you through some of the pages because it's such a pretty book. So I'll flip through a little bit fast because some of this you don't want to see. But see, the pictures are beautiful. And then it goes through the basics. It's broken up by flatbreads and pan breads. I've made tortillas lots of times, so those to me don't really feel like bread. But I guess if they want to count it as bread, we'll count it. It's the yeast breads and the sourdough breads. I haven't made sourdough at all. Even living in Alaska, I never made sourdough anything. But I had dear friends in Alaska that were raising 6 kids, and so they baked every weekend. They baked 12 loaves of bread, and that's what they used throughout the week for school lunches and all of those kind of things. And so they gave me their recipe, and they walked me through making it, but it still just seems so intimidating that I haven't jumped in myself. But this book definitely takes all of the guesswork out of it, takes away the intimidation, I guess. You can kind of see that we've got sourdough and hearth breads, buns, bagels, and rolls, which I will not be doing for a very long time. I'm just going to start with bread for now, maybe rolls. I've watched a whole lot of videos on babka. That might be a little beyond my skills. I don't know. Maybe once I learn how to do the other stuff, I'll be ready to tackle the fancy breads. So we go through more beautiful pictures. I got my little sticky notes. Do you guys do that when you're looking at cookbooks? I read cookbooks like other people read chapter books. I just love to sit and read the recipes and look at the pictures. So I have my little sticky notes, and when I find things that I need to make sure that I know or can go back to quickly, I put a sticky note on the page. But going through the tools, I do have mixing bowls and dough rising buckets. I have a scale. It's not a bread scale, but I think it'll probably work. And I have your basic pans that I make banana nut bread in, so hopefully those will work while I'm just getting started. I don't think I need fancy pans. I do have a bench knife, and I have a plastic bowl scraper. I don't have a lame, but I'm thinking you can probably get by with just a knife when you're first starting. I've got kitchen scissors, got thermometers. I don't have proofing baskets, but I do have proofing buckets, so I think those will work while I'm just learning. Oh, there's something I hadn't thought of. Let me see, is that pointing? Shower caps. You can use those to cover your bowls when you're letting dough rise. instead of going through a whole lot of plastic wrap, because plastic wrap always seems to ball up on me anyway. I do have a baking stone, measuring spoons, rolling pin, tape measure, baker's peel. I don't have one of those, but do you really need one? Have you made bread before? Do I need to have a baker's peel? I don't have the cast iron Dutch oven that some people on the videos have been using to make bread, but I saw that you can just put a pan of water underneath your baking stone, so hopefully that'll get me through in the beginnings while I'm just learning. I got plenty of wooden spoons. I don't have a dough whisk, but I think I can get by if I use my KitchenAid to mix it. Rimmed baking sheets, pastry brushers, pan spray, got that stuff covered. It goes through the techniques of mixing and the window pane test. I don't know, do I need to go a little higher up? If I put the camera up too high, then I can't see exactly on it, but hopefully you can see this. Okay, so it explains kneading. Autolyze? Is that how you say that? The flour and water in a bread recipe are combined, but notably not the sourdough culture, yeast, salt, or any other ingredients in the dough. Huh, interesting. So, bulk fermentation, calculating the temperature, I knew there was a right way to cover up your dough when it's rising and a wrong way. But no, that's probably something I want to mark. Because I wouldn't think that, as long as it's covered, I wouldn't think it would be that big a deal. Folding. I've watched a bunch of videos on bread making, so I have seen them doing the folding. You'll see how the wonderful pictures just kind of go through step by step to take the scary parts out. I don't think you can really mess this up if you follow their little step-by-steps. How to shape pan loaves. Hopefully, if I'm feeling better by next Monday, actually if I'm feeling better by this Friday, I'll try and make some of these, or at least one of these recipes, and I'll make a video on it for next week. This I thought was really interesting because I would have thought, can you see this one? This one right here? I would have thought this one needed a little more time, but I would have thought that one looked really good to me. So it's good to know that that means it's overproofed. I thought the bigger it puffs up, the better. And this is just scoring. I did notice on some of the videos I've watched that everybody's kind of got their own way of scoring. I'm not going to take you through the entire book because that video would just be way too long, but this is just such a cool book. See, I think they're saying this is not a good because it's got too many holes, but let's be honest, I'd put bread on or butter on it and I'd eat it anyway. It looks good to me. And then we get into the flatbreads. Focaccia. I'm not sure if I've ever even eaten it, but I can tell you on Pinterest, they've got so many really pretty bread art where they put the tomatoes and all the different things on there in a decorative way so that it looks so beautiful. See, aren't these pictures awesome? To me, it looks kind of like pizza without the cheese or the pizza sauce. But I bet you could put cheese on it. I would put cheese on it. Yeah, so we get into tortillas. Those, I just don't count those as bread. I mean, I guess they do, flatbread and spiced potato stuffed flatbread. Interesting. Whole wheat Indian flatbread, chapati. So, I probably won't start with those because flatbread just doesn't really appeal to me, I don't think. olive oil tortas. Norwegian potato pancakes. Interesting. I'm not even going to try and figure out how to pronounce that. Rye flatbread. But those I'll just pretty much skip through. We get to the basic white sandwich bread, which is pretty, but I think you need one of those bigger loaf pans than what I had, so I probably won't start with this one. English muffin toasting bread. A funny little side story. When my kids were little, my mom always had some of this in the house, and they couldn't wait to get to Grandma's to have a piece of toast with butter on it. And I bought some of the toasting bread to make it at home because they were so thrilled to have it at Grandma's house. And they explained to me that I don't put the butter on right. So they would only eat it at Grandma's house because she put the butter on right. And I never have gotten the answer on what's the wrong way to put butter on. You spread it, it goes all the way to the edges. Everyday bread. Oh, that one's pretty. I mean, it looks like it would be for fancy sandwiches, finger sandwiches or something. The pictures are what just amazed me here. I have a bunch of masa that I use for making tortillas. I didn't know you could make bread out of it too. I'll have to give that a shot. Cinnamon swirl raisin. I love cinnamon swirl. I don't like raisins. Wonder if you can make it with craisins. I like those better. Okay, so this is a French onion swirl bread. Mexican chocolate swirl bread. Ooh, that would be good. Savory dukkah, D-U-K-K-A-H, dukkah. Don't know what that is, but it's pretty. And lemon swirl bread looks good too. But you'll see these just have awesome pictures. Oh, this is the one that I thought was so funny. And you see the top of that. Tiger milk bread. And I was reading this in the dining room while I was talking to my daughter and son-in-law. And I said, I wonder who has to milk the tiger. They didn't think it was as funny as I did. I mean, obviously it's not you're not really milking a tiger, but I thought it was funny. It just looks like that when it's done. So it kind of looks like tiger skin. Fur, I guess, not skin. Oh, when I was in Alaska, I got some sourdough culture, and I felt like I was doing it wrong, so I ended up throwing it away because I didn't want to make anybody sick. So this at least gives you all the troubleshooting guide for keeping sourdough alive. I've been watching a lot of the Farmhouse on Boone YouTube channel. She's giving me a little more courage to try and do it because she makes it look so easy. So it's got quite a bit of information on sourdoughs. Ooh, that looks too close to fruitcake to me. Do you like fruitcake? I don't like fruitcake. So lots of beautiful pictures. Really walking you through it step by step on how to coat your loaf with seeds. See, that one, judging by all the videos I've watched, what they probably did was they rolled that in the seeds and then they scored it with their lame, and so as it cooked it opened up. But isn't that beautiful? I don't know if my family would eat it, but it's pretty to look at. I may make some bread for people for Christmas. That way I can play around with learning how to do it. And I'm not keeping it all here because I don't need to be eating it all. Loaded baked potato bread. That sounds really interesting. So it uses sour cream and scallions. and most of just the rest of the bread ingredients. When I think loaded baked potato, I think bacon bits and shredded cheese too. Ooh, that one looks really good too. Uses Dutch processed cocoa. I guess that's probably not the Hershey's cocoa that I have in the cabinet. I can see I'm going to need a special grocery run just for ingredients for baking bread. Ciabatta bread. I like that. Ciabatta rolls. Ooh, I love baguettes too. Sourdough baguettes. Yeasted baguettes. I wonder. I don't have a baguette pan. So do you think I could just do it on the stone? Would it... Do you have to have the pan to keep the shape, or will it kind of keep the shape while it bakes? Preserved lemon and olive oil bread, or olive bread. That sounds very Italian or Greek. It sounds good. And then we get back here to the... I have made bagels before. Years ago when my kids were little. We made bagels and we made pretzels. Maybe I'll try this one out for Thanksgiving. Because those look like they would be good. Anyway, I won't keep you through the whole book. The pictures are just awesome. Cardamom buns. Swiss-style twisted buns. I'm not sure I've ever had cardamom. Have you had cardamom? What does cardamom taste like? Ooh, those are beautiful. Those are pretty too. Puerto Rico. I do have lard and I have tallow, so a couple of years ago I bought half a cow, and then I processed all the tallow with the wet method to get it all pure so I could use it for soap making and hand lotion making and all that kind of stuff, but I still have a bunch in the freezer. Mini baguettes. Oh, then we get back here to the fancy breads. These ones I'm not going to have the courage to try for quite some time. Well, challah dough is just because they braid it, right? I might be able to handle that one. That's not that hard to do. Oh, yep, there you go. There's pictures of them braiding it. Plum hazelnut brioche coffee cake. So is that a bread or is that a cake? So watch in the future, because I will be making recipes out of this book and trying them out. Matter of fact, next time we do spaghetti, maybe I'll try making supreme garlic bread. What does it need? Softened butter, minced garlic, flatly parsley, salt, pepper, a loaf, an everyday French bread, Parmesan cheese, and red pepper flakes. I've got all that. I can do it. French toast. We certainly like French toast. These are just things you can do with bread after you have the bread. These Cinnamon Toast Deluxe. Did you make that as a kid, where you just toast the toast in the toaster and then spread butter and then sprinkle it with cinnamon and sugar? I seem to recall when I was around 10 or 11 years old, I was home alone, and I think I went through an entire loaf of bread just making cinnamon toast and eating it all. Grilled cheese, we make that a lot at our house. My grandsons love grilled cheese. Oh, they're using a jalapeno cheddar bread, and then they're spreading it with mayonnaise instead of butter. Oh, in addition to butter. And then they're using a sharp cheddar cheese and Parmesan cheese on the inside. That sounds really good. Grilled chocolate sandwich. Now they're using semi-sweet chocolate chips. And then they're also using raspberry jam or apricot jam. But I would totally use Nutella instead of the chocolate chips. French bread pizza. Oh, I haven't shown you guys my pizza oven yet. I haven't done French bread pizza in it yet, but I may be doing that coming up. At least once a week I do pizza in the pizza oven. And I found one that works really well for disabled because I can set the height for however I want, and I'm able to handle it myself. Sourdough lasagna. I'm thinking no. I don't need any bread in my lasagna. Bread pudding. I love bread pudding. That's their version of bread pudding. Looks like they threw chocolate chips in there too, which makes it even more yummy. And then this explains the different types of flours. I have a Vitamix, and so I can grind my own flour. I have the dry grinding pitcher, but I have not, I haven't tried doing it yet. So maybe I'll need to get some grains and try doing that. They say it makes a difference in your bread when you bake it. Oh, there's all kinds of things I did not know. Quinoa. I use that a lot in place of rice in dishes, but I would never have thought of grinding it into a flour to use for baking. They're naturally gluten-free, so if I'm baking for anybody that's gluten-free, I might try that. So there you go. There is this beautiful book by King Arthur Flour, and I can't wait to get into it and share some of these recipes with you. I won't do it every Monday, but maybe I'll try and do it one Monday a month through winter so that you can go along with me and see if I succeed or fail. Thank you so much for watching, and if you enjoyed this video, please give it a like to help my numbers go up. I appreciate you so much.